Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Welcome to our weekly Qur'an session. And as usual, before we begin, just a quick reminder for us to focus, including myself first and foremost. Just like we have to keep charging this phone, which is still being charged. Maybe I should leave it. Point is, we lose battery. As we use things, we lose battery. As we go in the world, we get our bodies affected by different germs, bacteria, dust, this and that. We need to take regular showers. Likewise, we need to regularly charge our phone. Likewise, we cannot see that, this notion of, okay, I've learned my religion, I've done my shahada, I'm good, right? So we have to keep reviving our faith, our love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we just leave it alone, in most cases, it will just go away, right? So may Allah protect us from that. So we have to keep recharging our faith. And one of the key way for us to do that is to remember Allah, is to read about Allah, engage with the book of Allah, or watch a video, watch a lecture, so that we are consistently, not more importantly thinking about what is permissible, what is impermissible, but most importantly who Allah is, right? That He is in charge, that we have to die, we have to meet Him, there's paradise, there's hellfire. So that sort of reminder is very important, because that will recharge our faith just like we recharged our phone. So having said that, so once we do that, then there's certain metrics that we can look at, right? Such as, what does Allah want me to do? Most importantly, Allah is inviting me to have a one-on-one meeting with Him, right? When we get a job application, we get a partnership application, or our entrepreneur brother Mukhtar here, he gets a meeting with the clients, he's always with the clients, this and that. They're not even clients, they're potential clients. But if he expects that, hey, this guy can provide me something that I'm looking for, he can provide me a partnership, an opportunity, he's gonna travel like 2 hours, mashallah, right? And he does that. So once we realize by our understanding and repetition and reading and reflecting that who Allah is, we will not be shy, we will actually love to stand up and pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second thing that I was speaking to our brother Nathan earlier, and he was saying, I feel like selfish if I ask Allah. So that's very important to remember, that when we ask Allah, this is itself worship. Us showing our dependency on Allah, that even for my worldly needs, so I want to make money, I want to pass my exams, I want to do this, I want to get married, everything that you have, if you show your dependency to Allah, that, oh Allah, help me with this, that itself is a worship. So don't think, oh, I'm being selfish if I ask Allah about my worldly needs. It does not work like that for Allah. So that's very important, because when you ask Allah, you show that you trust that Allah can listen to you, Allah can hear you, you know that Allah is able to answer your need, and thirdly, you know that your need cannot be fulfilled unless Allah allows it to be fulfilled. So having said that, so the question will be like, am I putting in enough effort? And everybody knows us, right? We all know ourselves. Am I putting enough effort to wake up for my morning prayer? There's a lot of big deal about morning routine, right? Everybody talks about it, and this is like, a lot of people develop this morning routine based on their experiences and their success gurus or what have you. There's nothing wrong with that per se. But then the morning routine that Allah has given us is to wake up, wash yourself, and you're having this calm one-on-one conversation with Allah. So am I putting enough effort to do that? And then my afternoon meeting with Allah, then my second afternoon meeting with Allah, right? And if you're starting slow and you know that you're not making your 5 prayers, then okay, how am I doing, right? Am I doing at least 1 prayer a day? Am I doing my Friday prayer? So that's important questions to ask. And what am I doing to learn and grow my relationship with Allah? And part of that is Quran. So that is what we practice here, and I hope that you continue that when you're not here. Okay, so we're going to be starting with Surah Al-Qalam. Alhamdulillah, we completed the previous chapter, which was chapter 67, the dominion, and we will be doing 68, which is the pen, right? The pen is a creation of Allah, right? So anyways, we'll talk about that, but I want Mukhtar to read the first verse, and then Jesse, you're going to read the translation. We're going to discuss that a bit, and then wrap up quickly so that we make it in time, inshallah. Yeah, please start. Can you read?
Just one ayah or how?
Yeah, one ayah. With A'udhu Billah, Bismillah, and then.
Okay. Say it?
Yeah, read it.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نون والقلم وما يسطرون.
Jesse, you want to read the translation, please?
None, by the pen and what they inscribe.
Okay. So what started with first is basically seeking protection in Allah, right? Just like when we drive, what's the first thing we do? Put the seatbelt on, right?
Yeah.
So you want to take protection from Allah, because shaitan is our enemy. Sad man. He's just laughing at the pronunciation, which is because anyway. So the point is, bro, he doesn't know. It's that okay?
No. You pronounce how it's written in English.
Yeah,
I know.
Okay, great. So anyways, the point is that I'm starting this thing in the name of Allah, seeking Allah's blessing, Allah's facilitation, Allah's assistance. Okay. Then now the first letter, which is kind of what he cracked up at, is Noon. That's one of the letters of Arabic alphabet. Just like you have N in the English, you have something similar which is Noon. So in some chapters they start with a letter, just a letter, and Allah knows best what it means. And there are many implications of it that people have contemplated. We don't have certainty about what is the implication because Allah knows the full implication Himself. But we have some implications, some reflections. And part of that is that, look, we are not able to know everything that Allah knows. That's first thing, humbleness, right? Second thing is also in a sense of that, look, the Qur'an, the book of Qur'an is made up of the same alphabet that the Arabs are familiar with. If it was a man-made book, then you guys can all get together and produce a man-made book because man's design is copyable, right? You can copy things. If you don't believe that, then take a look at Chinese iPhone, right? But the point is that's second. The third thing is, even though we don't know what it means, we believe that we are rewarded when we read it, right? So that's another thing, because this is the power of the words of Allah, the words that Allah has chosen, okay? And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears by the pen and whatever it wrote and whatever it writes, okay? So now this is talking about the specific creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So there's more to it, which we cannot cover in the amount of time we have today. But in general, there's a pen that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created even before you and I were created, right? And Allah asked it to write down everything that will happen. Okay? Now this is what we were talking about earlier from the perspective of knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? You look shocked.
Huh?
You okay?
I'm good.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, so basically, just to wrap up, that Allah knows everything that will happen. So this has two meanings to it. One is the knowledge of Allah is complete and perfect. And second, that nothing can surprise Allah. So everything that happens to you was something that was approved by Allah, right? And that means that it has a greater wisdom behind it, and we should be hopeful from Allah that something good will come out of it. Even if it's painful, something good will come out of it. So we'll leave it at that today, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika.